One of the bigger projects, I wasn't feeling it. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? No, I'm not. Hi again. I am Fathom, and I am the founder of Other Fiber Creations. And today, I have exciting news. Kind of, maybe, possibly. If you're new here, hi. If you're not new here, welcome back. I got accepted into the Madison Street Festival. You don't know what that is, probably, if you're not from around Huntsville, Alabama-ish. So, the Madison Street Festival is the largest vendor-based event that is happening in basically all of Alabama every year. The foot traffic last year was around 40,000 people. Crazy to think about, I know. And I got accepted about a week ago to attend this event. If you want to come see me in person, you'll be able to on October 4th, 2025. I'll be there in their Crafters Cove, because I accidentally submitted to be in their artist alley, and it turns out crochet is not classified as art, according to them. Oopsie, that's besides the point. The big thing for this is that with that amount of people, I'm used to foot traffic of like a couple hundred, which 40,000 is a lot more than a couple hundred. I don't know if you know that, but it is. So I'm going to have to prepare a lot of stuff. I have a long list of like bare minimum what I want to get done before then. I'm going to read this list, but I'm going to speed it up. But it's going to still feel long, just so you understand how long this list actually is. Here we go. 5 more adult dragons, 8 baby dragons, 9 leggy frogs, 8 cube kittens, 5 cube cats, a mermaid, a unicorn, 2 mothmen, 15 more baby frogs, 5 scrap pie, 9 car swingers, 9 plant swingers, 16 coasters, a mushroom sprite, 6 sponges, 5 fidget shrimps, 4 baby bats, 4 bushroom boys, 15 chimkins, 2 ghost guys, 5 Geronimo, which is just Junimo from Stardew Valley but said wrong, 15 circle pals, 4 more star pals, 10 little dinos, 15 little turtles, and 1 more baby whale, 5 piglins, 16 keychains, 5 Corby. So, that is just the bare minimum list of things I want to have more inventory of than I already have. And I'm still going to be doing markets from now to then, meaning that list will probably get more added onto it. So, this is probably going to be a series of me preparing for this market. I hope that you'll come with me along it. Today's video premise, it's in the title, but I want to explain it. I want to see how much market prep I can do in 24 hours. Most videos I see like this, they go, okay, 24 hours, from 9 a.m. to 9 a.m., how much I can make. Not accounting for food and sleep, and they put their own self-care to the side. Instead, what we're going to do, I'm going to set up a 24-hour timer on my computer. With this, I am only going to run it when I am crocheting. This video will be filmed over multiple days because I'm not going to do literally 24 hours of work in a row. We are going to check in every couple of hours probably, where I update you on what I've gotten done, what I'm working on, etc. It is just going to be a moment where that's 24 minutes. I need 24 hours, baby. But we're just going to see what I can do. I think it'll be a fun way of kind of showing how much, but also how little I can make in that amount of time, because we have to remember a few things about me. I am someone who I have been doing knit and crochet work as commission for, about a decade now. But I've been running my own business doing it for 2 to 3 years. The 3 is a little bit debatable depending on the words. If you count when I worked as an artist co-op, I didn't really make any sales, but I was working at the same pace and practicing what it would be like to do this full time. So, I've been doing this for a long time. I work very fast, but also, I am not a mass manufacturer. I cannot produce hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of the same thing without getting bored and slowing down and all these things. So, I think it'll be an interesting time to see what I can do. The other thing that I have is, this is our starting point. I think that's going to be something important to note. I don't know where the hook went, I'll find it later. This and these 4 tops here are the only prep work I have done for this challenge. These are the tops of my fidget shroom lads. They are a bestseller I have, and on the list that you heard me speed read, I have listed I want to complete 5 more of them. Here's 4, here's 5. So I'm going to finish these first, and then we will figure out where we're going. With all of that out of the way, I'm going to get settled and start the timer, and I think I'll check in whenever it feels right. Thumbs up. Cheers. It's time for our first check-in. It has been 3 hours, 15 minutes, and 54 seconds into our timer. That may seem like a random amount of time. I started filming this leading up to a weekend, and I forgot my roommate's home for most of the weekend, and so I'm doing this now while he's out at the car wash in order to get some filming time done. So, what have we done so far in these 3 hours and 15 minutes, approximately? We have finished the 5 fidget shrooms that I had the tops pre-made for before this challenge. That was our starting point. I then sat and thought about what to do next, and so I grabbed a cake of yarn that was almost done, and I started working on cube kittens. I sell these for $8. People like adopting them. They're called cube kittens because I sell the cube cats, which are made from a pattern by... Put it on the screen, I didn't fathom, because I forget and I'm not going to look it up right now. I finished 3 of them, and I have 3 more to embroider and sew. But I changed gears a little bit because I ran out of that yarn, and that felt pretty good. I have a couple more I want to make off that long list I read you at the beginning, but that's fine. And so I changed gears towards working on the first of my 5 adult dragons off the list. Right now, the main color, it's a bit hard to see because of the sunlight, the kind of grayish tone is the color Sunday Times, I think is the name. I have the yarn right here, I can tell you. I might be wrong. This is the color Sunday Times in Bernat Blanket frosting. And I am pairing it with white for the horns and this dark gray color I had in my stash of Bernat Blanket Dappled. I feel pretty good about the amount of progress we've made. I plan to knock out the dragons, or this dragon, rather, and then use the excess yarn in the gray to finish off the cube kittens, and then in this to make the first, if not the first 2 of the cats, the big ones. I think we are making excellent progress. I didn't realize how fast I've gotten at working on projects. It's been, I think this is day 3 of this, if I remember right. I don't actually sit and crochet most of my workday anymore. I do social media editing, like editing videos like the one you're watching right now. I send emails. I do market research by reading through trends on social media. I'm not in my pants, I'm in my pocket. Sorry, I just was like jerky hand and it looks weird. Anyways, I wind yarn in order to organize my stash to see what I have and don't have. I come up with a game plan for designs I want to have done. I write listings. I edit photos for listings. I figure out what markets to apply to. It's very strange seeing how little of my workday is actually crochet anymore. And yet somehow, I finished 80 projects in May, if I remember right. This is the last day of May I'm filming this, to give you context. I did not know I could do that many projects in that little time. Because my workday is long. This challenge is the time I spend crocheting, not the time I work. And so it's very, very weird to see how efficient I've gotten in my time doing this as a business owner. I reminded you guys of that at the beginning of this video because I wanted to set realistic expectations, but I didn't expect to be surprised myself at how fast I've gotten. For now, I'm going to go put away the finished guys. I'm going to get back to work on our new dragon friend, who I will name eventually. and then we will keep on keeping on, and I'll check in with you guys a few more hours in. Pew, pew, pew. I'm Boo Boo the Clown, so we're filming this again. I just finished filming like a 25-minute clip and discovered the mic was off for over half of it, so we're gonna do it again. It has been 10.5 hours. Woo! It's been exactly a week since we started filming. Yay! I ramble a lot and I don't script this, and so it's like I feel like I should repeat the same talking points, but that feels unnatural because I already talked about it, you know? But I'll try and give you an idea of what we were talking about. I was pointing out that it is strange to me that I have only worked 10.5 hours in a week on crocheting when I run a crochet business. But it actually makes a lot of sense when I think about it because I also have all the yarn to organize, all the house chores to do, all of the inventorying for the website to put up with, photo editing, editing these videos, filming TikToks, etc. I used to have an unhealthy work-life balance. I'm working on it. I'm coping. I'm recovering. I used to spend like 10 hours a day just sitting and crocheting. I didn't list the stuff. I'd film it and I'd sit and like spend one day a week editing everything from a whole week. And it was no bueno. It was not good for me. But here we are. We're doing it. I had the scare with my wrist, which you can view up here. I remember I talked about that video. I'm not a professional, but I want to be. If you subscribe or you watch my videos, it would help. Anyways, I was pointing out that I have a market on Saturday. The market on Saturday means that some of the things that we have finished so far in this video will probably sell. So I wanted to show you what we finished now so that we can feel safe about anything we've finished going away. That way, when I do a final check at the end, we can be like, oh, and that thing sold that you already saw, and not, and this thing sold that you didn't get a chance to see. You know? You feel me? Let's do it. First off, we have, this is an unfinished cube kitten. What's a cube kitten look like when it's finished, you may ask? Like this guy. We have 6 of these in the color oatmeal. Why is there a hair coming out of it? I guess a piece of my soul is in him. There we go. I removed it. I normally lint roll these before I actually take them to markets, so the little fuzzies you see coming off will not be there at the event. So I have 6 of these already done in the color oatmeal. It has some browns, some whites, some grays. Bada bing, bada boom. Back in the bin he goes. Next to me, in case you're wondering, is a box of everything I finished since my last market. Not everything for this video, since my last market. Those are 2 different things. The first thing that you and I finished in this video was 5 of my signature fidget mushroom lads. There are 5 of them. We made 2 in this color, which is called Smooth Sailing, and 3 in this color, which is called Plum Fields. I don't know why I'm singing. We're doing this now, I guess. I'm coping. But yeah, we made 5 of those guys. That was the first thing we did in this video. Do you remember? I remember. What is it? Pepperidge Farms remembers? Is that a dated reference? Am I bad at my job? Anyways, the thing I finished yesterday was 2 of these guys. These are cube cats. That's why they're called cube kittens, is because they're the mini version of these. They're great for sitting on heads, and they look like this kind of, I've heard people call it splooting. I'm not sure I like that term, but they look like this because you can take the arms and legs when you're setting him down on the edge of something, put him on a basket, like holding him like this, and he will kind of form around it. And he'll sit and he'll stare up at you with big, round eyes. And I have had people go, I use the phrase going gaga way too often when describing these, because that's what people do, is they're just, ah! So yeah, we finished 2 of these. And the last thing before I return you to your regularly scheduled footage is our newest adult dragon. This is Creme, Creme, like creme de la creme, but specifically cookies and creme was the meme, the joke. I was pointing out that I would benefit from making more adult dragons because The baby dragons are the best seller overall at my markets. The adult dragons, the only reason they're not is because I don't make enough of them. I have a regular who is, I call the dragon collector for her privacy and because she's 10. And I know for a fact that she's probably going to be very excited to see a new adult dragon because I made a discovery. This is not something I talked about in the original clip. We're going to talk about it now because I can't shut up. I yap. I'm a yapper. I have not made more adult dragons since January for something that sells really well for me at $35 a pop. It's been a minute since I made these. I'm covering it. I made them a little wonky because people have told me they like, kind of like, they love these little imperfections in what I make. They've told me that I don't purposely do them, but it feels human that they have those imperfections, and that handmade feeling versus that mass-produced feeling is something people really enjoy with me. And so I leave it when it happens. So he has scoliosis bumps, I guess. But I know that if no one else buys Creme, there's a good chance my dragon collector will come by. I call her that because the first dragon I made was named Richard. Think of the nickname for Richard, not Rick, the other one. Not Rich, not Chard. The one that I would not be able to say on YouTube. That one. I made a Richard pillow out of the yarn that Richard the Dragon was made out of. And all the other adult dragons I made sold, but not him. And she was so heartbroken over it, she bought him. Because she was upset that he hadn't been adopted yet. And now whenever I come by, she will swing by my booth and she will see about, ooh, do you have any more dragons? What are their names? Tell me their backstories. Tell me their history. Tell me their siblings. I want to know everything. And then she'll possibly buy one. She really enjoys collecting them. I think she has like 4 or 5 of my adult dragons and some babies now, and a bee from me, I think. She's bought a good amount. I think she's probably spent more than most of my customers, to be honest. And so, yeah, I know that Creme will have a good home, if not with her, then with someone else. That was a speed run of all of the things that I wasn't able to save from the footage where my microphone was patooey. Back to past me, where I still had hope in my eyes. Pew. I may have lost sound for a minute. I'm sorry if we did. I'll try and put a voiceover about what I was talking about, because I just discovered the microphone was flashing, and it's not supposed to do that. But now that I know I have you back online, the last thing that we have to talk about is me going off of the list. I know, the horror. I am bad at my job. I read you that long list and I went, what if I made something not on it? So I started making these guys. These are Dumbo Octopi. We have 4 of our bigger ones. Bigger. These are more medium. So I normally sell these out of Bernat blanket yarn for $10. These are the $8 ones. They are a bit smaller because they use a weight 4 blanket yarn, which is Lion Brand Cute as a Button. It is a discontinued yarn. You don't want to go look for it. It's gone. I have a lot of it in my stash from previous donations. And I had these glitter safety eyes I've been trying to find use for, so I was like, sure, I'll go for it. I also want to have a lot more budget-friendly options because I've had a lot of kids get disappointed that there's not as much stuff in their price range, so we're trying to kind of make multiple solutions out of one issue, or multiple issues into one solution, if that makes sense. I'm a guy, I guess, so we have these 4 of the $8 ones that I completed. But a lot of that time has gone to my new $6 bin. I usually sell scrap to pie, which are, I take all my blanket scrap yarn, tie it together, and I take the factory misprint eyes that I get and combine all them into a budget-friendly option for kids that also saves the yarn from having to go into a scrap pile or a landfill or a trash can or wherever it goes. These are the new ones. These are the baby ones that I think will also be a very attractive option. These are $6 with newer materials. So if somebody doesn't like the mix and match, they may be able to find something that is a more consistent design that also has these big cute eyes and all that. I think it will do well. I got this bin from Joanne. I know you didn't see it in my last visiting Joanne video. I know you didn't. I'm sorry. I ended up going 3 more times. I'm sorry. You can boo me. I deserve it. I did not plan on going again, but it ended up being a situation where I did markets, I needed yarn. We ended up there anyways. And so it worked out. Yay. So I bought 2 of these little bins. I made these little tags out of the packaging for this. This is a pair of safety eye pliers. I am 1,000% sure that this is not like the super name brand ones, because I paid like $8 for these. I needed a pair. This was the link a friend sent to me, like, you should get these. And I was like, oh, I guess they're on Amazon now, because I have the gift card. Sure, I'll just put it on the gift card, because I didn't actually spend any money, but I say $8, that's the cost of it on Amazon. And then it got here, and I was like, I don't think that's the name brand one. I thought like they went on sale or something. I should have done better research on that, but now I have it, so I'm going to use it so it doesn't go to waste, because we hate waste here. So my clothes are so scrappy, haha. But yeah, this has been really helpful in getting the safety eyes in, saving my wrist. And I used the packaging for this to make this little sign on here, down here, the $6 one. And I think it turned out really cute. It looks really classy-ish, I think. But yeah, that is everything we have finished so far in these 10 and a half hours. 10 and a half? 11? Something like that. The goal for now, before this market on Saturday, I think, is something. I'm gonna probably do a hard pivot, I think, into some Pikmin, probably? I'm thinking through what I have inventory of and what I don't have inventory of. I'm sorry, Editing Fathom, that we've been filming for 15 minutes at this point. I normally try to keep it under 10 to make it easy on you, but we're just stopping full force is like a halfway point check-in to kind of talk and vibe for a bit. If you don't like me talking, skip ahead. Sorry. I like to have variety in my booth. It is a major thing that I sell with, because most markets I work at, we're gonna make Madison Street Festival an exception, consider me not a business owner, but an artist, which there is a distinction between the two. When you're a business owner, a lot of the times, people expect the same consistent items over and over again to be able to get the same consistency every single time. This includes, for example, there is, what are they called? I think it's Ivy Springs Farm that I sell with at Providence Market, which you can come visit me at. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see in the bio, each day I'll be there. But Ivy Springs Farm, they have infused honey. I love their infused honey. It's very good. I expect to be able to get that same honey when I run out every time I go. And that is important. I like that they have new products, but I come back for that same product over and over again. When I go to my friend Nova Dawn, who runs Kindred Spirits Botanicals, I go back for the same skincare because I want that consistency, because she is a business owner. I trust her business sense to have that same item. People have told me when they come into my booth, they don't want the same thing because they already own it. It is a bit of a difference between making something disposable and something not. Something consumable. That's the word I'm looking for. But also, some people are like, I want to get the same thing I already have, but for a sibling, for a mom, for a grandma, for a child. Sure, I can do that. I'll have duplicates like how I have more than one of the cube cats. I've made them in the past, I'll make them again. But a lot of times, I make more unique items, like the Scraptopie that are one of a kind. I'll make the one of a kind mushroom sprites, like Molly and Marnie, that you can find on my website down in the description below. You should go support me there. Haha. All the plugs. But having all of these new options constantly flowing in is very important for how my business model is, because people come in and they feel like they're in a thrift store. They feel like they're finding a treasure hidden amongst the everyday items. And so I want to make sure that I constantly bring in new things. And I cycle out the things that don't sell as well. I used to have 2 fidget shroom options. Now I just have the lads because only the lads did well. So I want to pivot because I've made a lot of my standard items. And I want to kind of invest in making a couple of the not standard items. So I think right now, I said Pikmin. Do I want to make Pikmin today? I think I'm gonna make something not Pikmin. I might make Pikmin. I want something creatively fulfilling and something less seen. And so I think I might go for the yellow Pikmin. I've made the red, I've made the blue. I think we should go yellow today if I'm going to go for it. We'll see if I stick to that plan. Chances are I'm going to walk into my yarn stash and I'm going to go, I want to use that. So we're going to see what happens. For now, this has been the check-in at 11 and a half hours. I hope you're liking this video, and we're going to see where I go from here. Ooh, pew pew pew. It has been, let me think here, it's 7 hours left. I need to do math before I turn it on. 17 hours. We are 17 hours in, right? 17 plus 7 is 24? Yes, 17 hours in, which is crazy to think about. Last we checked in, it was, let me check here. Oh, geez, it was about 10 days ago. In that time, I have done 2 markets and taken like 2 days of break time, like one day after each market, because I needed to decompress from peopling. You saw one of those markets, actually. You can view that video here. That was last time's video. Wild. In that time, I finished a good amount, I think. I finished what I've been calling a Jombonimo. For those who know Stardew Valley, there's a creature called the Junimo. I'll try and insert a picture here. And the Junimos are these little forest sprites, nature sprites, I'm not sure what to call them. They remind me of the things from Harvest Moon. It's gonna bother me. I'm looking it up right now, what they're called. Yeah, the Harvest Sprites. That's what they remind me of, is the Harvest Sprites. These little elf guys. They're so cute. But, yeah, no. Junimos are very similar to that. They help you with your farm and stuff like that. I call them Geronimos as a joke because I like to come up with silly names for why they're not actually official fan art, if that makes sense. Like Kirby is Corby, Pikmin is Pikmimin, like pick me. Pikachu is peek at you, so on and so forth. So I have Geronimos, and then I made a jumbo one, so it's a Jumbonimo. So I made one of those. That took a good hour or so. I've also finished some Leggy Frogs off of the list. Got 3 of them over here, all in one hand. Look at me go. Maybe that's a thumbnail, who knows. Anyways, then I got distracted. My face is breaking out. Ignore me feeling timid on camera because of it. But I got distracted from the list that I read off to you at the beginning, which is never a good sign, because that means that I make things that are not on the list, and the list is still staring at me. Longer than it was when I last left you, because some of the things sold. Huh. But let me show you what I did end up making. So, oh god, it's hard to fit this whole one on camera. This is what's called a wind spinner. These are a popular house decoration where you hook them near the front of your house and the wind makes them spin and look pretty. I can't fit the whole thing on camera, so I'm going to show you the colors at least of each one. They all have tassel at the bottom of the 3 yarn colors I use. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are a little bit jank because they've been in a box. They will straighten out with weight when I hang them at my next market, which is in like a week and a half, I think. Market season's crazy, you guys. I also went ahead and, where do I put you? I just showered. Ignore my hair. You're gonna sit here. Sure, I'm gonna project. Sorry, Editing Fathom. So I was looking into these. I need to look up what people call these. I have these, what we call infinity cubes, where it's like these 6-sided when you have them the right way around. And you can like break off these triangle pieces, but they're all connected through magnets permanently, and you can just fidget with it forever and make it go in shapes. And like it's a D12. I don't know what that's called proper shape wise when you have it like inside out. It's weird. I would try and describe it more, but I'm bad at that. But I was looking at that and I looked at the shapes and stuff, and so I made these. They just permanently turn one direction or another. I grabbed some random acrylic yarn. I used up the rest of a skein of like red striped, and then I made one in this color, and I started a 5th one in this color. It's literally 6 pyramids where you make the pyramid, you close it going the opposite direction of the bottom. Pyramid, opposite direction of the bottom, and so on. You make 6 of them, and then you sew it together, and it will do the thing naturally. I think there's a name for it. Fidget hexagon, since that's the shape, I'm guessing. Not that. Fidget hexagon crochet, maybe? Endless Hexy Crochet Fidget Toy Flexagon. Ooh, Flexagon. I like that name. I might use Flexagon as a name. Yeah, I think Flexagon is it. But yeah, we have 4 of these Flexagons that each take me about 45 minutes to make from start to finish, which I think's pretty good. I'm planning to do 20 for these guys, for the tassels and all that jazz. And then I think 15 for these, because they're about the same amount of time as a baby dragon. And they're a little bit longer, but the material's a little bit worse, so I think it'll balance out. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. I'm gonna finish... I have this back now. I'm gonna finish the Flexagon over here. That'll be 5 of them. I think that'll be good. And then... let me look at this list again. I have so much on this list still, and it scares me. But I'm my own boss, and I don't have to finish the list if I don't want to. I think I'm going to go towards finishing the baby frogs out of the green I have here. It's a smaller version of the leggy frogs I showed you earlier. I'll just make a bunch of bodies today, I think, and then work on finishing them off tomorrow. I think that'll be the game plan. For now, it is around 9:50 a.m. because I got up, started slow this morning, went to work on, you're on the iPad, checking my subscriber count, which I hope that some of you guys that subscribed from the subscriber blanket are watching this, because I just posted week 1 the day I'm filming this, because it takes me a bit to edit all this stuff down. And 17 of you subscribed from me posting that, which is crazy to think about. Thank you. Thanks. I am in shock and awe and appreciative, because I would love to do this like more actively and like have it be like a source of income, but you guys are here now, so welcome. It's so weird to think about like 17 people in my living room all in one day. That's insane at any given point. With that being said, I don't know where I was going. Oh, yeah. I am gonna work on stuff now. I took it slow this morning because I checked the video stats and I showered. And now I'm gonna go work and stop procrastinating, because that's a thing we do on this channel. Pew, pew, pew. Hi! Welcome back. It has been, since we started this video, let me do some math here. Today would mark 3 weeks? 3 weeks. I've been filming for 3 weeks for this video. When it's one project, it does not bother me that much. It's the fact that every project, I'm going to cover that because it feels inappropriate. Every project I did, I would look at the clock and be like, I'm that fast? Go faster! I want to be done! So, I've officially crocheted for 24 hours as of like 20 minutes ago. I spent the last 20 minutes setting this up. We are in my room. You were on my yarn wall. I have a laundry basket here, and you're like, Fathom, what is that for? I needed a place to put all these projects as I show you so that you can visualize how much we've actually gotten done. I have my project book here, and I'm hoping that we can make some sense of what we've done. Some of these projects I have duplicates of that aren't the same ones you saw me make because I wanted to be fair and show you guys an actual physical representation. Specifically, it's like the little guys because I had them in storage and they're at the bottom of my craft fair bin and I sell in a couple of days and I don't want to dig that out. Laziness happens. Let's start at the beginning. A very good place to start. You all remember Fidget Shroom Lads. What is this lighting? I gotta hold them back here, I guess. We finished 5 of these in the duration of this video. That was an item crossed off that major list at the beginning. They're back on the list because people have bought some since then, but we finished 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was our starting point. Next thing we did was we finished a set of 3 cube kittens. I will try and get up close and actually show you these, because the fidget shrooms you've seen enough. Oh, okay, if I bring it close to you, you can see fine. So there it is. I made 3 of these guys. Just to clarify for you all, it looks well lit. I am in a dark room. It is very dark in here. I had the window fully open so there was a good amount of light. It does not work. So yeah, we have 1, 2, 3 of these guys. That was the next thing we did. All I made at the end of May, the last 2 days. So we switch into June. In June, I got distracted for a bit. We went off list, which is my mistake. We made some Dumbo octopi. Let me get up close. So we have these little guys. I made 3 in this color. 1, 2, 3, and 1 in this color. After making those boys, I then went on a second side trip. Second side trip was to make what I've been calling at markets desk pets. Based off of this, I finished 11 desk pets. How many are in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I sold 1 of them. Too bad. They're in a $6 bin. The desk pets, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the orange-green combo. And 3 in the purple-teal combo. So we're going to add these 10 to the basket. After that, we then went on and made Miss Creme. She is made with Crochet by Jenna's No-Sew Dragon pattern. I've sold a lot of these over time. People love them. I used some dappled yarn and some more dappled yarn and some gifted safety eyes that I had to hot glue together. The tag is because she's already been to markets. Great. In she goes. After that shenaniganery, we then move on to June 4th. That's right, that was all 3 days. Huh. At that point, we then hit stride. And I made some cube cats. I believe that I put the name of the person who made this pattern earlier in the video. I'm not going to make you do it again, editing Fathom. There we go. These little guys love to sit on the corners of baskets. I use that to my advantage during markets. So we have these 2 that I made. They haven't sold yet, which is fine. It gives me time to make more of them, because I wanted to have 5 total. I made 2. We have 4 more of the adult dragons to make, and the fidget shrooms, there's 2 more to make because I sold 2 of them. Fantastic. Next on the list, after all the cats, I took a day and then I made the Jumbo Geronimo. This is a Junimo from Stardew Valley. I'm aware of that. I call it Geronimo because I find it funny. So I call them the Jumbonimo because it's a Jumbo Geronimo. This guy, into the thing. He was on the list. I had a total of 5 guys to make. I made 5 of them, I think. I forgot to add 2 of the cube kittens. In they go. After I made the Jumbonimo and the cube cats, I took off for 4 days. I needed a break from this challenge. because I wanted to mess around, try some things, and be able to breathe without a timer going down my neck. Sorry. Those projects are not anywhere in these bins. They are somewhere else, and they will not be counted towards this challenge because I did not time them, and I want to be fair and representative of what I do. Back to the next time I picked up the timer, that was on the 13th, because I had to mark it the day before and I didn't finish anything. I started stuff but didn't finish it. So I finished things again starting on the 13th, where I made 3 leggy frogs. These are a free pattern off of Ribbler that I embroider faces and stuff on. 1, 2, 3. After doing the leggy frogs, you move on to page 2 of my June projects. I then, down to the bottom, I then finished this. This is what's called a wind spinner. Wind spinners are a popular decoration that many people who own homes put out on the outside, typically made of metal or fabric that is water resistant, in order to have it spin in the wind and look pretty with all the colors. During my break, like 4 or 5 days, I made a couple of these design-wise. This one I made on the timer. This is the 5th one I made, but the first one in the challenge, and the only one in the challenge. I then went to do the other design that I managed to figure out, which is a new fidget toy. These fidget toys are called flexagons. They are basically infinity cubes that you just can rotate forever and ever. I'll come closer and show you. You're just sitting on me now. So the flexagon, it's literally made out of acrylic yarn. I discovered if I make these 6 pyramids after looking at like similar plastic fidget toys, I can then make them and sew them together, and it makes this loop where I can infinitely do this motion. It took me a bit of looking at it, and when I was looking around, I was like, crochet hexagon toy, crochet whatever, trying to find what people call these. I'm sure I'm not the first person to make them. This is just the version I came up with when I was freehanding. And they call them flexagons. And so I was like, sure, that's what I'm going to call them. So I made 4 of these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. After I did the flexagons, I then made 2 baby frogs. These are tiny frogs, another free pattern off of Ribbler. There they are. In they go. After doing the baby frogs, I went back and I looked at what I had left on the list. I did not finish the baby frogs or the leggy frogs off the list. I made a bunch of things that aren't on the list. So let's return back to the focus of this video. It's not what I want to make, it's what I have on the market prep list. I already started the Junimos, let's finish them. So I spent, how long? 2 days making 4 regular-sized Junimos in green, red, blue, and purple. Stay up. You can see the basket's filling. This is a regular-sized laundry basket. It is filling. So, sorry, my shirt is sticking to me. It's hot in here. I have the AC at a low thing, so you can barely hear it. And this room is covered in yarn, and so it feels like it's so much hotter than it should be. Blech. After I finished the Geronimos, I then decided I was going to look at some of the other items on the list. One of them being, I had, I think, 2 ghosts left to make. I had enough yarn left for 1 ghost, so that's what I made, was 1 ghost. I need to get more yarn to finish this, but there's only 1 left on the list, which is a positive. In it goes. Next thing on the list, I thought for sure I had enough yarn to get it off my list. I'm 1 short. We made some Corbies. Corbies are pink guys with little legs. Let me come close and show you. Pink guys with little legs. These little guys are great. Cuddly little guys. People love them. 1, 2, 3. I had 5 on the list. I made 4 because I ran out of pink yarn. Cries. We are on to the final item that I made for this. I finished all this in about 22.5 hours of crocheting. Just to put that in perspective. I had about 90 minutes left when I finished all this stuff. I didn't want to do one of the bigger projects. I wasn't feeling it. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? No, I'm not. I wanted to do something and cross it off the list, and I looked through my list. I know I made a meme about it earlier, about it has this many of this and this many of that, and it was a whole bit that we did. I'm not going to flash back to it because having to copy and paste all those edits to this point in time would suck. So, I genuinely looked at it, and I saw that there was one smaller project that I hadn't tackled yet that I could probably finish in that time period. And that was the coasters. Coasters are something that I sell as part of my mix and match deal. 1 for $3, 2 for $5, or 5 for $10. And it's mix and match with my scrunchies. The scrunchies are more popular, but they take less time. So typically, I could be charging a little bit less on the scrunchies and a little bit more on the coasters. People buy the scrunchies more and pay more for them. And basically, they get a coaster at about the price it should be. So I mix and match those two. It works out well. And so the past 2 days, I spent an hour and a half crocheting making coasters. This is 17. I only needed to make 16. I made a 17th because I had 6 minutes left. 17 coasters into the basket. This is everything. I learned a lot with this challenge. A lot about my own work patterns, and a lot about how much I actually do in any given workday. Like I said, it's been 3 weeks since I started filming this video. I expected that I was going to be done in the span of like a week and a half. That didn't happen. You might be asking, why? You're a crochet business owner. I, doing this for a living, work from home, meaning I do a good amount of housework every day. I do a lot of laundry, a lot of dishes, a lot of just general cleaning up messed up spaces. I have a disability that causes me to work a lot slower in general on the mental faculty end. So I account for like an hour or two of work time lost to that each day. I also just have a life, and like I need to take breaks each day regularly. I cook for myself at home. When I say cook for myself, I use an air fryer because it auto turns off, and I have memory issues, and so it helps. The same way I have to like write down every row I do. But I do a lot in the day that's not crocheting. Alongside, like, I do a lot of having to track financial stuff and transport it from my phone to this. I contact events because they contact me, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll come to you. Cool. You can hear more about that here. Shameless plug. So I only got around 2 to 4 hours of actual crocheting done in any given day. That had not crossed my mind that it could be a thing. I also learned that I can stick to the list. The list is good and it helps me to have achievable goals. But if I don't allot time for myself, like once a week, to sit and just make things that are clearly not on the list, I will just go off kilter anyways because I cannot force myself to make things. And that's okay. It is good that I have that knowledge creatively, that I experiment, that I want to experiment, that I'm not in a rut doing something that I'm not passionate about. Because being able to go and experiment and come back to the things that I want to make means I come back with passion and gusto to make these things. If you liked this video, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. If you're going to do one of those 3 things, make it subscribing so you can see all the other fun projects I end up doing. If you want to support me other ways, I'd love to see you at the Madison Street Festival. Today's question of the day is, how many projects do you think are in this basket? Don't go back and count them. I want you to tell me, genuinely, how many you think are in here. I'll tell you in the comments if you're right or not. I guess higher or lower probably is what I'll do. I am going to go and continue to market prep. And you let me know if you want to see more of this, because I have more of this to do. Oh God, I'm tired. Thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.